bill, $400 and some that I'm paying for nothing.
Well, I think it's a policy issue that the council
It really is.
to do. You know, I tried to help Ms. Rose as best I could, find out there was a vacation system to put it in.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
That I get to read all this stuff around here.
My name is Murdine Williams, and I live at 18 Hamilton Avenue Northeast. I'm on the residential side. I got a water bill, my water bill being like 97, I think 41. In December, I got a $200 and some dollar water bill, and I wasn't even home, okay? And my question is, when I called to check and find out why my sewer part of it was so high, they told me, this is the answer that I got over the phone. Oh, we just charge double. That's what I was told. We charge double for the sewer part. Whatever the first part of the meter is, they charge double for the sewer. And you know, come on.
So it looks like it's policy issues that we need to get better.
This is too much.
And that's the reason I said discussion, because it's, I have heard from many different people about utilities. And this is something that we do need to discuss, or try to figure out something as to addressing these issues, these discrepancies with utility bills. Because like I said, if I was a business, I would be screaming all the way to somewhere about why am I still receiving a bill and I don't have service.
When I open door, I need to know.
No, ma'am, you have to, no, ma'am, you have to stop it. Technically, you didn't sign up to speak, and if I were to just do this, we might would go on all night, so.
Business people need more than one garbage can
I
put
hear
in
you.
charge.
I hear you.
That's not right.
Ms. Robinson, if you still have more, I want to.
I'm done with that. We'll as a council, need to try to develop
Mr.
some kind of
Robinson,
policy.
can you get with me and give me the information you got from other cities? Because I don't like to reinvent the wheel if I don't have to.
Yes.
And so if we can model after one that's already done.
Lake City.
Lake City?
I can get that one. Okay. All right, Ms. Shanice.
Also, I want to say it's going to be for, I need individual, and this is for 5C. I still want to speak separately when it's time for 5E.
All right, just to be fair, we can do a minute and a half, does that work?
I'll
Be
talk
fair to
fast.
everybody else?
I'll talk fast.
All right, thank you.
All right, I am Shanice Brown, owner of Greenport Kitchen. I don't know if you've seen it on social media, all of the different things that I've been dealing with separately with City of Live Oak. As far as the utilities, my utilities was cut off by them on November the 6th. They came out and did that and ordered a 24-hour shut off for the utilities with saying the building wasn't safe. I emailed them asking them to, explain what's the safety issues, because if I'm still gonna be in the building, cleaning or doing whatever, I need to be aware. They still haven't responded to any of my emails, and that's back from November. But anyhow, they turned my utilities off. And so I called just to check the billing, and they tell me my bill is almost $1,000. And it's because I didn't call them to put my bill on vacation mode, so that they're gonna continue to charge me month by month. The same thing that the previous people came up here and spoke about. I'm dealing with that issue as well when it comes down to the utility portion. Mr. Sessions has personally been out to my business with the state, walking around. My cameras, show you out surrounding my building, and he can't respond to my emails inquiring about these things, but he has time to meet with state individuals out of Tallahassee to come search my building premises. So I'll use the next time when my other time comes.
All right, yes, ma'am. Now, for item, I'm sorry. 5E.
When you discuss.
No, we need 5B.
Sorry,
It was a substitution.
No, I'm talking about her. I'm speaking
Oh,
about.
okay.
All right, moving on to item 5B now, which is
5D.
changed.
Right, 5D, we changed that to Public Works vacancy. I want to make a motion that we accept the resignation of our previous public works director so that we can move on with hiring another one.
We have a motion?
I make a motion that we,
Let's see a second.
second, she already made the motion.
She did, yes, ma'am.
Okay, second, I did that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion concerning?
Yes, is that resignation in writing?
Yes, sir, it's in writing. I turned it into, the HR report.
Okay. All right then, as long as that's been done. Okay, I'm good.
All right, further questions, comments, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resignation letter of Mr. J.L. Lee is accepted. Is that all of it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, one more. Mr. Session, far as replacing, you be doing interviews or?
The minute I got the resignation, I went ahead and advertised. I've got 3 applicants at this point, and so it's been up for now 3 weeks. I was gonna shut off everything probably the end of the week, but,
Did we use Florida League of City, supposed to reach out to them about?
we went, just like we did last time with the finance director, we went out. I'm not exactly sure what Ms. Yolanda reached out to, but I told her to go in a wide area.
Good. All right, item 5E is my item, is discussion regarding city manager evaluations. Initially, when I put it on here, it was just generally to sit down and discuss amongst the 5 council people, the evaluations, and, you know, that because of the contentious nature of what, you know, the previous council meeting, but I just then since learned that the other evaluations haven't been completed yet, so I guess just trying to establish a timeline on what and I also will yield a little bit to the city attorney on what the proper, I guess, protocol is to, on a timeline as far as if we're going to complete, if the other council members are going to complete their evaluations, if it's something that is legally necessary or
Not illegal that I could find.
Mr. Attorney, before you go into, now I know that there's 2 forms, or we almost, something you're supposed to been doing to follow up, because I saw the old form that we've used in the past, and then something else was brought up. You're supposed to bring like a discussion on.
actually.
No, to correct it is that my understanding of the last meeting is that when it's initially started, we had the form that's been used in years past.
Right.
All right, and then Ms. Vanessa brought to my attention when I met with her, that there was some additional criteria in another form that she may want the council to consider. So I provided that to the council people I met with. And with my understanding at the last meeting is that although not a general consensus on do we just do the historical form for this go around, but my recollection is we were going to have a workshop to try to develop a comprehensive form.
Correct.
That incorporates not only the historical one, but some of the more specific items that Ms. Vanessa brought to my attention, and have a council-approved form, and this is the one we use.
Right, because I don't remember you either calling me or emailing me or we communicating about.
Well,
I sent you either an email or a letter with the packet I had met with some of the other council members.
But I do remember we did vote on the evaluation that was currently being used as this year's current evaluative tool, and that was a vote. I don't think it was maybe 4-1, but it was a vote. And that's why I'm saying we agreed to, or I thought it was my understanding that that's what we voted on. We agreed to use that form, but it seemed like it was such a point of contention. I'm just curious why we haven't done the evaluations, or if you had a different timeline. I'm just generally just concerned.
You just want discussion about the evaluation.
Well, since it was brought up, and then the attorney said something, he wanted to, and then Ms. Vanessa brought something up. Because like I said, I could have went ahead and completed the old form that we always had, but I thought we was going to try to either incorporate something with the new form or whatever. that was discussed, but like I said, you and I never communicated that I can recollect, all right? Because I'm fine with the old form myself. It doesn't matter to me.
And the question that I will ask about these evaluations, because this is something that we will have to put in place, how we will use these evaluations. Because nowhere in the charter does it say that an evaluation is what determines whether or not the city manager is hired or released. So to me, for right now, the evaluation would be futile because everybody does one individually, and it's not a consensus of the council as to looking at these evaluations and saying, because it's between you and Mr. Session. When Mr. Campbell does his, I'm very sorry. When Mr. Campbell does his evaluation, it's between Mr. Campbell and Mr. Session. And goes down to all 5 of us. Those evaluations don't ever come together. There's nowhere, there's no policy, there's nothing that indicates that. So it's not, whether he is rehired is not dependent upon evaluation. It is dependent upon a vote. That is it. That is what this book right here, that is what the charter says. That is how it is moved forward. So the evaluation piece, we work on that when we're doing some workshops as to how we get this in place, how we move forward with that for the following year or for whoever, for the future.
The general premise behind the evaluations is for each council member to express, their personal opinion based on the categories listed, and then meet individually with the manager to discuss, because I believe he does one too, to compare and contrast, did you grade me higher or lower in this category, whatever. But it's the main purpose of the evaluations is on an annual basis for him to get input from all of the council members as to what they believe his strengths and weaknesses are. Now, of course, they're all public records, so they all are going to be placed in the record for anybody and everybody that wants to review them. But that's the primary purpose of the evaluations.
Let me ask Mr. Gill a question. John, you've been through these things, and
Microphone. Your mic.
Before as
We can't hear. We
You
can't
gotta
hear.
talk into the mic.
Mr. Gill, I'm sorry, I thought I was talking loud enough. But anyway, John, you've been through these things with these evaluations and all of that. For what we do, we normally do them in January when we go over the city manager's evaluation. What is your input on the reason for the evaluation that council?
The reason for it is just to give the city manager, you grade him on his work. That's pretty much what they are. I mean, Ms. Vanessa's right. That's all they are, is just to give him an idea of what they see his strengths and weaknesses are.
Right.
And as far as his employment, it's not hinged on the evaluation.
Correct.
She's correct when it comes down to all it is just a vote.
Right. Okay.
But if you didn't do the evaluations, it wouldn't really matter.
Okay. All right.
Would it be fair then, and I'm not trying to assume, this is just discussion, to assume that there's an intent or a position shift from the last meeting to the tone, the last meeting, you called for termination.
Because
And it was all about, there was no evaluation and those kind of things. I'm just trying to understand, like, the communication piece, that's what I'm trying to fix, not fix, but to help to facilitate
when the
here.
ordinance was read, when the attorney was read the ordinance, and the ordinance said that we had to do one or the other at that point in time. And he was, well, we had to, if we didn't choose to move forward, then we had to terminate. So at that point, it was termination. Now,
But it
I
could have
don't know.
been, your motion could have been though, a vote to retain.
right, it could have been.
That's what I'm saying. So I think in fairness, is all I'm saying, like, in my opinion, if somebody's gonna try to terminate my position, I think that in good faith, it would be, I would appreciate like some explanation, you know what I'm saying? Like, the communication, like, here's why. That's all I'm saying. So
Well,
maybe
okay.
if we can, when we workshop it, if we can do like an evaluative piece.
All right, you wanna know why? I mean,
I'm not asking why you personally, I'm just asking like why can't we hopefully workshop it into a point to where the evaluative piece is, something, especially if it's termination.
Mr. Campbell, I did find it's actually at the end of the meetings, we had several motions back and forth, and then the last one, Councilmember Alford made a motion to use the current evaluation form only, which Councilmember Jefferson seconded. The motion carried unanimous. So at least at the last one, it was, if you wanted to conduct an evaluation, then we would have been using the current form. But then I think we agreed as a consensus to workshop it and see how we can make it better. Is that?
So if you're not like under so just in general, like, so for example, I use the only thing that I'm knowledgeable with in the school system. So if you're in a probationary period, you can be fired without cause, right? But if you're a tenured employee, you have to have a lot of justification. And I would feel like as an employee, especially as somebody who we designate the CEO of a city, of Live Oak, some sort of protective measure in there to where, I'm just because somebody maybe has a disagreement with me or doesn't like me or whatever the case may be, right? That I can't just come in and say, I'm just going to terminate you without cause.
well, according to your charter, okay, your charter doesn't give anything about that right there. It says a vote of 5, and I'm trying to get to this right here.
No, I agree.
Right.
As it
But
stands now, I'm just saying
understand.
the way I would personally view it, and I hope
Yeah.
everybody could agree, like, and you'd want cause, right?
And that's
Well-
I'm
No,
sorry.
no, go
But
ahead,
that's
go
what
ahead,
we,
'cause
what we did. She called for a motion to terminate. I second, then turn around and said, just to have discussion on the matter, how can we try to approach termination and we haven't even done an evaluation, and
We still haven't done that.
right, exactly, because we don't know which one we're gonna form.
We voted.
But anyway, it's about a new point now.
I'd like to make one comment.
Nope.
I'd rather prefer to do the discussion with council than like,
Right.
Okay.
so I'm just trying to say, like, in the future, I think, and again, we can move on because I think it's gonna be, and I know Mr. Slepper wants to chime in. In the future, though, I think that if you look down the road beyond our term, beyond, for the good of the city, if I am a highly qualified candidate to come in and apply and want to work for the city of Live Oak, right? And there's a history of we're gonna vote to terminate or things like that without cause. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna have any kind of a feeling of job security there. So, I don't know. I'm a little twisted and perplexed. Like, I just feel like, in good faith, I wouldn't be able to just say, you know what, I don't like you. We're gonna vote to terminate, right?
And that is not what,
Right.
that is not my position of
I didn't say
saying.
it was your.
No, it was done before. That is not my position as to terminate. It was, when he read the ordinance, he started reading the ordinance as to what it was. So basically, based upon that ordinance, my decision was to terminate, okay, which I rescinded because we started talking about something else. I can give you reasons, or I can point out things why that I feel as Mr. Sessions. Hold on.
We can say that.
Let's just say
Just for a
that
second
right
time,
there.
but yes, ma'am. I'm just thinking that
Yeah.
It's definitely a workshopable thing and discussion down the road with the evaluator.
Yeah.
piece.
And that's what I was saying.
To be fair to the public, we have no way of communicating with one another through the sunshine laws, except for right here in front of you. So I do appreciate your time and attention. I'm not trying to waste it, but at the same time, I like to know, get clarification and quite frankly, the position of, especially if we're dealing with something that's as sensitive to me as the evaluation or, retention of a city manager, which is,
And usually, if you look to see, did some research too, a city manager normally is in a position about 3 years. And it's, city managers is a high turnover rate. And it is not, it's personal about this position. It's about what, it's just about, I guess, leadership style. And when we can work on these things, when we are talking about developing the evaluation, we can tie that in and maybe make it a thing to the chart, where you have to have more than just a vote in order.
I appreciate your conversation. Yes, sir, Mr. Clifford, you got 3 minutes.
Moses Clifford, 14581 102nd Path Live. I heard that the evaluation doesn't really matter. Actually, I think it matters a lot. And I respect this board, that this council, that it doesn't appear that y'all violate sunshine law. I attend other meetings where I question that. I know it sometimes gets difficult, and what Mr. Chairman or the President just said is so, and I understand that part of it. But I also see there's 3 gentlemen sitting to the left of, actually 4 gentlemen sitting to the left of the President, who could, now, you gotta be careful about that sunshine law. You can't go, one of y'all go tell him to tell her, or vice versa. Can't do that either. But we do have tools over there that the cohesiveness is missing in this board, though. And all of y'all admit it from different points. It's real obvious to some of us out here that attend regularly. I think there's a very capable board, including a good videographer over there. So we got 10 people in this room working for us. And I